What do you guys fear the most? Is it layoffs, bankruptcy, the stock market crashing, poor cash flow, Donald Trump? Okay, that last one wasn't actually included in the list of questions, but it is if you're former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
But for the first time, a president of the United States has been charged. Tomorrow he will be arraigned, and largely because of the work of the committee, the January 6th committee established to investigate what happened leading up to January 6th. Again, pretty exciting, really an act of courage and patriotism on the part of the members of the committee. I salute them.
Now, we all know of the allegations that Pelosi has enriched herself and her husband during her time as Speaker, and this is one of the reasons why some of her critics say that her excitement for Trump's charges isn't really excitement, it's more fear. But she also did talk about it again in an interview where she called the indictments exquisite and beautifully intricate. It's kind of like she's describing an ice sculpture, but no, she's talking about a former president of the United States getting indicted multiple times. Now, Pelosi even said that the former president looked like a scared puppy. And well, Trump, of course, being himself, he had to respond, right? It's not like him to not respond to attacks, so he just said that millions of Americans didn't see what she saw and that Pelosi is a wicked witch who will someday live in, well, I can't say exactly where she's going to be living, but it has something to do with a pretty supposedly hot place. You guys probably catch my drift by now. So anyway, Pelosi also said something that I find incredibly ironic, if not extremely hypocritical. She said that Trump winning in 2024 will put a criminal enterprise in the White House. Wow. I mean, like, did she even think before she said this? If she means it, she should say that it's going to put another criminal enterprise in the White House, as the Bidens already have that spot covered, you know? And you got to realize, like, looking back, the economy was strong under the Trump administration. I mean, if it wasn't for the health crisis, which kind of happened toward the end of his term, let's face it, it seemed to be funded under the NIH by Dr. Anthony Fauci. If that didn't happen, well, we'd probably still be all right. But things don't look too good for Trump right now. Like, did you guys hear that the Department of Justice being another ironic term these days, is appointing 2 grand juries? That's right, folks. One in Florida where Trump was indicted. That's normal, right? And another one in Washington, D.C. And I mean, you can't help but laugh a little bit, right? I mean, you're going after this guy with multiple charges, and even then, you're not sure that he's getting charged. So what do? You stack the playing field in your favor by having a jury that most probably, since they're from DC, hates Trump's guts. Luckily for him, this move raised red flags all over the place, and this is why Judge Eileen Cannon is asking for an explanation. What do you guys think they'll say? Now, at this point, they should probably just kind of put Pelosi, AOC, Mitch McConnell, and even President Biden in the jury, if that's how they're going to be playing this thing. Do you think that this is unfair for Trump? If you think it is, then comment down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the thumbs up for the video and also subscribe to the channel, all right? Awesome. Now, we already talked about him a second ago, so let me step back for a second. McConnell, right? He completely froze up during a brief press statement, and well, many continue to ask, is this guy still fit for office? Now, surely he would retire, right? Nope. He says he's good. He's fine. But I don't think his hometown thinks the same. Have a look for yourself.
My friends, I'll be honest. It's not hard for Republicans to look good these days. We're up against the folks who gave you record high inflation. We're up against folks who closed schools and then told you that teachers' unions know what's best for your kids. We're up against folks who'd rather let repeat offenders walk free than get tough on crime. I'm glad Governor Beshear finally decided to come to Fancy Farm. It's been the first Saturday in August for 143 years.
Yeah, that chant of retire and lost the Senate together with the booing kind of went on for like 5 minutes straight, or pretty much the entire speech. And you got to hand it to him, though. He went that entire speech without once, like, not a flinch, not even acknowledging the boos. That's impressive. I was waiting for them to start throwing tomatoes and rotten fruit. Now, I guess his time in politics has made his skin as thick as crocodiles, you know what I'm saying? But do you guys think that he should retire? Trump thinks that he should, as he posted that he agrees with the crowd and even linked the clip on his Truth Social account. And hey, Truth Social is a perfect way to switch over to my next topic, which is, well, It's a complete opposite of the truth, so it lies. Man, wouldn't it be interesting to see like a lie social app? Anyway, so off the top of my head, comment who you think lies the most within our government. And just to add the cherry on the top, like who do you think has lied the most under oath? Congressman Jim Jordan would probably nominate FBI agent Elvis Chan, as he's saying that he lied under oath regarding his talks with big tech companies that suppressed a report from the Post. Chan, again, under oath, says that he wasn't talking to Facebook apart from communicating with them only once and wasn't as updated on an FBI investigation as much as, so he basically had nothing to say about it. But, and here's the not so surprising part, huh? He lied. Jordan got documents directly from Facebook that shows that the agent was up to speed on the investigation and even had phone calls with their employees. Wow, how's this guy still walking the streets free? And what's insane here is that they're trying to interview Chan again, but Jordan says that they're being stonewalled. Now you might ask, well, like who could do that? Well, Jordan says that they're being pushed back by none other than the Justice Department. Now you've got to, of course, ask again, why the heck is the DOJ getting this involved? I mean, it's not like they've been politicized and weaponized against the federal government's enemies, right? Or at least people they treat as enemies. There's no abuse of power here, right? Of course not. Now, moving on to abuse of power. And I'm sorry, I had to do that switch up because it just seemed funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about alleged, right? So alleged abuse of power from the Biden administration as conservative groups are changing his latest plan to forgive student loan debt. This new plan is only worth a measly $39 billion. I'm pretty sure the government can spare it, right? I mean, we have sent billions of dollars to God knows where, so, this really shouldn't be a huge deal for the administration. The Department of Education, they weren't too happy with the lawsuit, and they're now saying that this is just an attack from the right wing and that they want to deprive around 800,000 people from being forgiven of this student loan debt. Man, wouldn't it be nice to just be forgiven of debt on, like in a snap? Like, hey, your mortgage is forgiven. No more mortgage payments. Your car note is forgiven. No more car payments. Your credit cards are wiped out. They're forgiven. No more credit card payments. Like, what do y'all think?
This new plan would cancel $39 billion of student aid. But two organizations labeled by Washington as conservative are saying that this new plan is unconstitutional.
I don't believe that the basis of the lawsuit is justifiable.
Sol Ortiz is one of the more than 800,000 borrowers who would benefit from the new student loan forgiveness program launched by the Biden administration. But that program faces a new lawsuit.
Congress said to earn your forgiveness under the income-driven repayment plan, you have to make at least 240 monthly payments.
Attorney Sheng Li from the New Civil Liberties Alliance represents the two groups in the lawsuit, the Cato Institute and the Mackinac Center for Public Policy.
The problem is the department has decided to count certain periods in which the student received forbearance from making monthly payments as monthly payments.
Forbearance was the period of time many students were allowed to stop making payments or pay less, like during the pandemic.
They're reducing the number of monthly payments that Congress says is mandatory for forgiveness.
The Education Department responded saying this is a desperate attempt from the right-wing special interests to keep hundreds of thousands of borrowers in debt, even though these borrowers have earned the forgiveness that is promised through income-driven repayment plans. We are not going to back down or give an inch when it comes to defending working families.
Is this abuse of power from President Biden? Or are these groups just overreacting and these people should be left alone and be forgiven of this debt? Even though, and here's an important factor here, they initially agreed to pay for it when they took out the loan. But let me know what you guys think. And before we go, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for dropping a like for the video. Thank you guys for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.